Oh my, good evening. The title that I've finally selected for this video is Finding Quiet Time in a Full House. Since I began doing videos every day, I've never had the experience of not knowing what to say. There have always been lots of things to talk about. I've sat here this evening twice, just staring at the computer screen, listening to activity going on beyond my door, and wondering what to talk about for the final video for November 2013. This hardly seems a worthwhile subject, yet as 11/11 passed with no title in mind, I realized that I had to go with what I have, even if it seems inadequate to me. So here it goes at the end of a long and crowded day, when I did not find the quiet time I'm used to because of a full house. Oh yes, I sat here for a good while, around 9 o'clock or so. Or was it? It was 8:30. Between 8 and 9 o'clock, I think it even was. And finally, I said, "Well, I'm going to go lay down for a little bit, and maybe something will come to me." And I did. And I woke up a little bit before 11, and I sat here at the computer again, trying to come up with something quickly to start the video at 11:11. Well, at 11:11 came and went, and I still had not one thing typed on the screen for my title, and certainly no blurb. So I finally, 10 to 15 minutes ago, decided, well, just this is where you are, and you've always promised people that you'll speak from your heart wherever you're at, and you'll tell the truth. So that's what I'm doing. And as Aristo said in the video that aired today, sometimes I'm a high and sometimes a little bit depressed. And right now, in this moment, I can't say that I'm depressed or high, but I'm grasping, actually. I'm grasping at something because there's been it's been a roller coaster ride so far, having my family here in the house with me. Today was the first day that I spent the entire day with everybody home, including neighbor children here. In fact, a little girl across the street, this is almost like her family now, because she ate 2 meals here today, and she's my granddaughter's best friend, or they call themselves best friends forever. And there was all sorts of arguing going on when my daughter and her husband told the little girl that she had to go back home, and they walked her back home across the street. My daughter and my granddaughter and my grandson did not want to see her go, even though my grandson fights with her like cat and dog. So it was like a sibling rivalry, because now that little girl is competing for my other granddaughter's attention with my grandson. They used to be the ones that would spend so much time together, and now my granddaughter wants to spend time with her best friend forever. So it's been interesting watching the dynamics, and it's been interesting observing myself as to trying to figure out where I can fit into the family, where I'm intruding, where I'm not intruding, trying to allow them to have their normal family activities while I'm not having my normal house activities. And it's good on the one hand and challenging on another hand. And I'm watching myself act and react to different things. I mean, my grandson comes, when I was talking on the phone to a friend earlier this evening, he comes knocking on the door, and I ignore him. Then when I go out after the phone conversation, he wonders, "Where were you, Poppy? Where were you?" And he's always the one that knocks. It's never somebody else. It's always my grandson coming looking for me. And I don't know if he's asleep right now. I hear talking and stuff going on in the other room. It's almost midnight. Nobody has to work tomorrow or get up for school. So they're up late, interacting with each other, having conversation going on out there. But I'm sitting secluded where I've been since whatever time I came in here. I guess it was 8 o'clock, maybe even before 8 o'clock when I called my friend. Yeah, it was before 8 o'clock. I think it was 7 something when I called my friend and talked for a while. Anyway, it's a full house, and I'm going to get used to it, and I'm glad to be able to provide a home for my daughter and her family, to allow them to catch up financially so that they can ultimately, maybe in 6 months, get a place of their own. Or maybe I'll get another place and let them have this one. Who knows what the future holds? I don't know. I know I posted on my Facebook wall today the higher resolution photograph in a tie and jacket that I had to take because the other one that I took with the webcam was too grainy, and they said, no, we can't use that one. I guess that they're preparing some kind of an identification thing, and it needs to be a clear picture, not a postage stamp picture blown up. It has to be something larger, and I don't even know what all they're going to do with it. But be that as it may, there were hundreds, I think, of comments today. I mean, it seemed like there were hundreds anyway. Certainly over. I'm pretty sure there were over 100 at the very least of comments about the new snapshot. But I'm entering a whole new life, and I mean, I feel like I've long felt like the best days of my life are ahead of me, even at my age of 67 years old, which I don't often feel that old. I mean, I feel younger. I mean, I look at people and I feel young most of the time. I'm not saying I don't have any aches and pains ever. That's not true. I do feel a little bit achy and painy in my body from time to time. But I still think that the best days of my life are ahead of me, and I've had that attitude for a long time. Whereas, as I think I've probably mentioned before, my first ex-wife, I mean, she's younger than me, but she's been much older than me for a long time. I mean, she's called herself an old lady. You know, I'm getting old, and you know, you hear her talk, and I mean, it's like she's getting ready to die, and I'm getting ready to live an adventure of what I came here to do, to actually interact on a scale that might actually produce positive changes for the people of the world, and to play a role that I haven't played before. And that's something that I just came to me that I should be talking about. And it came to me earlier today when I was looking at comments, because I posted let me look at that. Let me just pull that up on the screen here really quickly. It's that's not it. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. I posted Senator Bernie Sanders, who is an independent senator from Vermont, and he posted applauding Pope Francis's call to rein in the tyranny of capitalism. And he quotes, there's a picture of Pope Francis and a quote, "As long as the problems of the poor are not radically resolved by rejecting the absolute autonomy of markets and financial speculation, and by attacking the structural causes of inequality, no solution will be found for the world's problems, or for that matter, to any problems." And I posted that because that's it. He's got it. Now, this guy's a Jesuit. Okay? He's the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, which has been embattled with all sorts of proper accusations of being involved in a whole bunch of activities, including pedophilia and child slavery and child sex rings and stuff like that within the Catholic Church, folks, within the church. This is what's been going on. And the Vatican is one of the richest organizations on the planet, could solve so many of the world's problems if it would release its wealth to the people of the world and follow the mission, so-called mission of Jesus, to redeem the world and to be the savior of the world and to be the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. But no, the Catholic Church did the exact opposite, with the Jesuits often leading the battle against the people, not for the people, for the corporations, for the illegitimate governments, for the illegitimate financial structure of the world. The Catholic Church has been right in the middle of it. But it's a role. It's a role that Pope Francis plays. It's a role the Jesuits have played. It's a role the Illuminati has played. It's a role the Zionists play. It's a role that the elite of the world and the cabal plays. It's a role. And I'm willing to sit at the table, quite frankly, with anybody that's willing to sit at the table with me and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Not so help you God, so help you you. Because if you don't tell the truth, you're deceiving your own self. You're living in a fantasy world that just isn't reality. The boomerang is going to come back and get you. What you sow, you're going to reap. The handwriting is on the wall. The days of hiding behind curtains and behind closed doors and in ivory towers are over. The people of the world are waking up. And I'm one of them. And I've been honored to work with some amazing visionaries around the world who want to make a world that works for everybody, who want to finally get the world on track to do what we've been able to do forever and didn't have the will to do. Well, maybe now we're finding the will. And I'm one person that's willing to forgive Pope Francis and all of these people that have played these dark roles. I'm willing to forgive the hidden hand that's been behind the scene, waking us up, because we wouldn't wake up if everything was nice and neat, I guess. But I also don't believe that we can really advance spiritually until we wake up, until we get the dark structures out of the way and at least level the playing field enough so that the truth can be heard on mainstream TV just as easily as everything else, and on the mainstream communications media around the world, till the newspapers and all of the media start telling it like it is and not holding back and trying to protect people's reputation. They're only roles. They're only roles that we've been playing. All along, it's just been roles. I play roles, you play roles, we all play roles. So we're rolling into a new era and rolling out a new design, if you will, a new program of prosperity for the whole world. We're rolling that out. Whether it's going to be the CVAC system or whether it's going to be a cashless society, whether it's going to be a more agrarian culture where everybody's growing their own food, whatever the changes are coming, folks. And there's nobody going to stop it. There's no establishment going to stand in the way and say, no, we're not going to go into this new era of prosperity. We want to stay in control, and we're going to do whatever it takes to stay in control. I mean, I'm sure there are still people out there that think like that, but they're not going to be able to accomplish it. And I hope you see that. I hope you see what I see. The best days of our life are in front of us yet. And the lessons that we've learned, the biggest lessons that we've learned are behind us or are in our present moment that's happening right now. And we're learning that we have to finally allow ourselves to know the truth, to really know it and to embrace it and to accept it, whatever it is. It's a full house. And there's not going to be much quiet time. There's going to be lots of activity going on, a whole lot of shaking and a whole lot of revealing and a whole lot of apocalypse, which is revealing, a whole lot of stuff going on as we shift the energies from the old to the new, and as our family now dwells in our home with us, and we're at home with our family, even if we haven't figured out yet how to properly relate, because we're so used to being alone, so used to being lonely, so used to feeling left out. And now we're coming into a new reality, and we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together as generations learn to communicate with each other. The generation that I'm in, the generation of my children, the generation of my grandchildren. It was funny because my granddaughter and her little friend from across the street were doing a yoga video today. And I guess it was a video that my daughter bought when she was pregnant. And it said, if you are more than 4 months pregnant, don't do it this way, do it another way. And if you're less than 4 months pregnant, and I said to my granddaughter, are you pregnant? I'm not ready for a great grandchild yet. And she says, no, Poppy. And of course not. She's only 8 years old. And anyway, it's going to be a time in front of us that lots of things are going to happen that are going to take us out of our comfort zone. And it's going to happen for everybody, because the world is not going to stay the way it has always been. And as Pope Francis is making some really good declarations, maybe to save face for the Catholic Church, who knows? I hope all the institutions can find a redeeming quality somewhere within themselves, so that everyone will feel needed and important, and everyone can play a role that helps in reordering society and readjusting to the new energies that are being downloaded upon our planet, for all of us to come home, for all of us to know who we are, to remember, and to be and do what we were designed to be and do. Thank you for listening. I guess it came out okay. I didn't listen to it yet, so I don't know for sure, but I feel good about it. Thank you. Good night. Namaste.